Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. Well, I'm sure you're all familiar with these looks. This, of course, is one of the comic versions of the Batwoman costume and Ruby Rose's Batwoman costume from the TV series. Now, I prefer the comic. I mean, I don't understand. They've got the bold hair, but they don't have the red cape. It doesn't really make any sense to me. They ditched the utility belt, which made no sense to me. I mean, every Bat person has to have a utility belt. Batman had one. Batgirl had one. How can Batwoman not have one? I mean, Ruby Rose's belt looks like something she just bought at a regular store. It doesn't match the hair. It doesn't match the bat symbol. It just doesn't work. So I thought the comic version looked better. Now we have a new Batwoman costume. They have just released photos of Javicai Leslie's new costume for the Ryan Wilder character, and I'm liking it. So they've gone back to the utility belt in a nice blood red, and we've got the gauntlets as well, which I didn't sort of notice the differences between the first Batwoman costume. That I kind of didn't notice so much that how less dynamic it was. Like I said, no red cape, no red gauntlets, no utility belt. It's, aside from the hair and the symbol, it's really pretty plain. Whereas the new one, she's got the red inside the cape, she's got the utility belt, she's got the gauntlets, and she doesn't have the red hair, but she's got red streaks in the hair. I think it's a little bit, it's not enough. I think she needs a bit more fire in the hair. But yeah, I mean, they're definitely different. And we knew, at first she was just using Kate Kane's costume. So it's pretty much the same costume. So we saw some of that. We knew she was going to be getting her own version of the costume, but the issue was how different would it be? Would it be unique? Would it just be basically altered to suit her body type a bit more? I was thinking that was the only difference it was going to be. But the main difference, the noticeable difference, is the hair. Now, I have no issue with the afro hair. It is actually a wig. It's not her hair, although her hair kind of looks like that. But I do think it's detrimental to the character, because the idea of the costume really is disguise and to look fierce and threatening, and this costume is a bit less. I mean, disguise-wise, I mean, you look at Ruby Rose there, you can't tell who is in that suit. The wig is misleading because of the colour and also the fact of the long hair, because she had short hair. This girl, this is basically her hair with red tints. I think they're just using a wig to save her the hassle of doing her hair and the costume, so they can just put the cowl on and be done. It's not supposed to be a disguise. So, I mean, you look at her, you can see that's a black girl. Whereas Ruby Rose could be anything in that costume, because all you see is just the mouth. Although the sculpture of her mask is a lot more severe. It's more threatening, but it's also less human, I guess. And this mask, you can actually see the person behind it, so there is more chance for, I guess, to emote. So it looks a little, almost, not softer, but just more human. And that's good for the character and the actress in some ways, but it's not necessarily as good for the costume and for the disguise. So I think that's the only place it falls short. I think the design is better, because I think Ruby Rose's outfit is a lot less leather, basically. A lot more of just sort of matte sort of material, which I guess is better disguise-wise because it doesn't catch the light and so forth, but it's not really Batman. This other costume seems to have a bit more sheen to it, a bit more detail. Certainly it's got the accessories that pop a lot better, the blood red gauntlets and utility belt and the cape, so I'm happy with all that. But I do think the hair is bad for the character, because it's less of a disguise. You can tell who that, you can see who that girl is, whereas Ruby Rose was really hidden in that disguise, and that's kind of the point of it. And I'm not quite sure how it even works with the myth, with the legend, with how Gotham sees her, like how do you see the superhero when they change? It's like, how many Bat people are there? Are they interchangeable? They disappear. Another one comes up, then they change. I mean, is it just about putting on the suit? It sort of diminishes the idea of the myth or the person underneath it being special or unique if just anyone puts on the suit and then they're just a Bat person. So there are a few issues here. I don't know how they're going to handle that in the second season, how they're going to handle that character-wise. They can just brush over it and, oh, she's a new Batwoman. But if you're going to sort of look at it seriously, I think just having another woman step into the suit, like they're interchangeable, I think that diminishes the character and the importance or the threat of the character to criminals, at least. So I'm not sure. Like, there's good and there's bad. I think overall the costume is great. I don't think the wig works. I think if they'd done like a really bright red afro wig, so it would be more disguisey. It would still, relate to who she is, but that's sort of the problem. It's supposed to be a disguise. So if she's a proud black woman with afro hair, maybe not put that on the costume. Maybe have like totally different hair. So like Ruby Rose's short hair versus the red wig. I mean, that made sense. This doesn't quite make sense, except it's kind of making a statement, but it's kind of a statement that could get her killed, like her real self, because her secret identity is not as secure. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think. I do apologise for my low-tech approach, but I just didn't have the time to do anything more complicated than this. So, but yeah, so I think it's a lot closer to the comic look, and I think it's a lot better. I didn't really like Ruby Rose's outfit. I didn't really realise how lacking it was until I'm looking at the comparison now, and I can see the things that are missing, because I didn't look so much at the costume, the comparison between the comic book one, because I didn't really read the comic. But I'm happier with a lot of the changes. But yeah, I do think character-wise, story-wise, there's some issues. But I'm really going to go this time. Thanks. Bye.